Woo! Welcome back to MIGGZPLAYZ, everyone. That was Mr. Brett Larson, version 8, whatever you want to call him, with his awesome single, Alien in You. Still clearing my throat from this damn cold. It sucks balls, but whatever. We're doing what we got to do, right? We're still here. We're doing the fucking thing that we always do. Be crazy. Welcome everybody to MIGGZPLAYZ. I feel so caffeinated. I'm hyper caffeinated. I just drank coffee before this. I should have probably drank the coffee in the middle of the stream, but no, because I'm Cuban, I just drink the coffee all the time. And I'm all fucked up. So, anyway, to get to the show, I have Mr. Brett Larson waiting on the side. He's probably laughing at me. But I wrote this little introduction. See, I'm doing these cool little things now. So, here we go. Brett Larson is a fully produced artist from Minnesota. From all aspects of his music, graphic design, and even his music videos. This music video was I don't know if it was filmed by him, but it was edited by him. I don't know if you guys noticed, but he was the one actually playing all the instruments except the drums in that track, which a lot of people don't catch that. But it's kind of cool how that works, right? It comes to show that with the right amounts of ambition, anything is possible. With the right amount of determination, any artist can do something like this. You don't need to outsource everything, although highly recommended if you do, because obviously you get the better quality, but with that comes the money and the investment, right? It's not cheap. It's not cheap to do the things that we do, but we do them because we love the sound. We love the music. Brett is also a featured X-artist. He has been on various interviews and podcasts, from colleges, college campuses, to Voyage Denver. So with that being said, we're going to talk about a lot more things. With that being said, welcome, Mr. Brett Larson.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. It's like when we go off to the side like that, we can't hear the mic, so we have to use the private chat. But I can hear you. Oh, no! Phone suicide! It's a first on MIGGZPLAYZ. The phone has committed suicide.
Yeah, I have lost audio.
Oh, you probably have to accept the mic. So you can hear me?
I can't hear anything that you're saying.
Okay. Look at the chat. Accept the mic permission. These are the things that happen when you go live. Oh. Let's see if Mr. Brett can get his mic working.
What the fuck?
Well, I'm going to keep talking, so just in case so he hears me. So, with that being said, guys, welcome to MIGGZPLAYZ, the podcast where we talk to musicians. And what we do is that
I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
Let me try something.
All right, so let him come back. Let him go out and come back in. With that being said, guys, these are the technical stuff that we always deal with when on a podcast. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there now.
Okay, cool. There, you had to reset. Yeah, sometimes it tells you
Christ.
to like accept the mic things. I know. Listen, bro, it's a pain in the ass. But welcome. That's a nice room you have there, man. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's all Amazon and Home Goods.
Oh, bro, I do the same thing. Oh, the dragon back here, black light on the dragon. Everything is Amazon. It's cheap and it comes in quick.
Well, I found these acoustic panels that were in the shape of hexagons, and I couldn't say no.
Are they like one of those? Yeah, I've seen those. Those are the self-adhesive ones?
No, I'm a fucking idiot, and I stuck them all to the wall and the ceiling with this Scotch like mounting tape. And when I took some of them off, I realized that the tape is really fucking hard to get off the wall.
Yeah. Yeah.
So part of the reason I'm holding off on moving is I'm just too lazy to deal with all of the leftover tape that's gonna be stuck from these
Take the paint
fuckers.
off the wall.
No, it's the price I pay for being an
Like the
artist,
ones
right?
that I have back here, like over here, like I have some like all around the room. Like these were self-adhesive ones. So like when they come off, they still leave a little bit of residue, but with a little bit of Windex and a rag, it comes right off.
Well,
But
that's nifty.
they are more
I'm,
expensive because you have to, because they adhese themselves.
I'm gonna have to Goo Gone the shit out of this. It is gonna be a fucking nightmare.
Bro, just wallpaper that bitch.
Sure.
So
Yeah, no, nothing
I
ever
was
happened
telling the
here
guys
ever.
on the intro before you came on that the music video, people like, I guess I want to hear your side of the story, right? Because in the music video people don't realize that you're the one that's playing the majority of the instruments outside of the drums.
Yeah, pretty much everything except the drums. I either play, well, I program the drums too, but I play physically the guitar, the bass, do all the vocals. I don't physically play a lot of the synthesizers, but I just like write them
Mhm.
in
Yeah,
in the piano roll
yeah, it's
at
good.
this
Yeah,
point.
it's kind of the same thing that I do. I see, like this when I write something, I don't plan on playing it live. So I just like do a
Yeah,
bunch of shit. And then I'm like, I don't even
well,
remember the fucking guitar parts.
I think it was a long time ago, but I saw like a screenshot of a session from Red Sea's Fire, and you could see like all the chopped guitar parts like stuck together,
Yeah.
and that's when I knew that it was okay to cheat on all recorded guitar parts
Yeah,
forever.
yeah, that's how you get that tight sound, man. It's just like that little bit of I recently got myself the Petrucci plugin from Neural, and it sounds great. Like right off the bat, the rhythm thing just sounds I'm dying. Fuck balls. So
Dude,
the
don't me COVID. God, I was sick.
no, it's the vape and like cold at the same time. It's ridiculous. But I recently got myself that Petrucci plugin. And the gate on it is awesome. Like most gates will work for you to get a tight sound, right? What sucks about gates though is that when you're playing like lead stuff, you kill sustain and you can't play any harmonics. So you have to chop it in. And so like when I write stuff now, I don't know what it is. It's just like that. Even if it's like perfectly tight, you playing it, just that little bit of white noise in between each guitar note just makes it fucking pop. You know?
Hmm.
Yeah, that's more production stuff. We'll get into that eventually. We'll get into that eventually. So how are things in Minnesota, Mr. Brett Larson?
Well,
How was the before we started live? You were telling me that the sun finally came out.
yeah, after the longest winter of all winters in the history of winters, the sun has finally reminded us that it exists, and we're all very happy. It's the Minnesota summer euphoria where everyone's just running around trying to nail each other right off the bat. So we're all having a great time up here.
Finally, everybody's getting some vitamin D, right?
Yeah,
Oh man, that's good. So I want to ask you something because I was telling them also because I know you couldn't hear me, so I'm kind of like repeating myself a little bit, but that's fine. When I did an intro and I said that you pretty much are self-produced in every aspect of what you do. When it comes to
yeah,
writing the music, mixing it, mastering, doing your own graphic design, even to the point where you edited this music video, right? How do you
yeah.
how do you plan that? Because there's a lot of artists out there that they 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 do one thing, but they're not like I do one. I could write the music, that's awesome. Graphic is not my, and you've done a few of my song covers, which thank you, they're fucking awesome. So if you guys need a graphic designer, there, Mr. Brett Larson right here is a graphic designer. It's going to cost you, but it's worth it. So, but if it, how do you structure that? Let's say, like for example, you have this song idea, and you're planning on releasing this. How do you go about doing all of that stuff?
I mean, it's
I
pretty stream of consciousness as far as like what comes out and what doesn't. I mean, sometimes it's just I'll write a song and finish it and be like, all right, well, this is the song that I'm gonna do a music video for, just because I can picture certain things in my head, whether it's like a concept or how I want to perform it or whatever. Because I mean, the funny thing is, people will see that music video and they'll be like, "Dude, your band is so good," and I have to explain that out of the four people in that music video are me wearing different outfits.
you you have twins.
with like different hairstyles or whatever. And I thought like this is something I thought was super obvious
Yeah.
that it's me just wearing different shit, but everyone else thinks that it's like my band.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I
It
mean,
comes to show you
since
how people expect to see, like, different people in a band. They don't expect like one person to do everything.
yeah, well, it people don't want to believe it. They don't want to
Mhm.
believe that one person can like have the either I don't know the drive or the tenacity to sit there and like
Mm.
hammer out all this shit. Because I'm not gonna lie, like making a music video on your phone by yourself takes fucking forever.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm used to sitting and staring at my phone doing artwork for like hours at a time, but doing a music video is the first time that I would literally get like fatigued doing it
Yeah.
and had to take breaks because it's just so much like dragging and dropping and editing and like
Yeah.
you don't realize like with music videos like all the timing of it when you're like actually
Hmm.
dragging and dropping all the clips like how long that fucking
Yeah.
takes, especially when you're just doing it because I'm so used to doing shit on my phone that I'll just sit there and do it on my phone and it takes like hours and hours and hours and hours. But I mean, with Alien and You, it like the way it turned into a music video is like when I first started writing the song, because usually when I write a song, like I'm notorious for making like a shit ton of instrumentals and then never putting vocals on them. Like I
Mm.
have thousands of instrumentals that could probably have vocals, and I just never fucking do it. Um, and Alien and You, like I was just like I was in vocal mode. I think I just got a new microphone or something. I don't remember what got me back into doing it because there's always like something that like re-kickstarts
Mm.
my motivation to do vocals because it's like the most tedious process in my
Mm.
opinion when it comes to recording a song. But when I was doing the lyrics, like sometimes with the lyrics it can be difficult to get started for me, and I'm not sure why, but so this time I decided to do the Ice Nine Kills thing and
Mm.
just like write a song about a movie. And
Mm.
this song in particular is about Dreamcatcher. Like it's like basically just a vague retelling,
Yeah.
I guess. Like it doesn't like to me like it doesn't have like a whole lot of like personal meaning when I wrote it. Like
Mm.
it was very much just like just a retelling of something because it fit, and I had like in like the images in my mind from the movie. It's like a cabin
Mm.
in the fucking woods,
Yeah.
and my buddy Andy, who's playing drums in the video, um, he basically lives in a cabin in the woods.
Oh, perfect.
So his drum room, which like that he like built himself, like has that like cabiny vibe as well. So I
Mm.
was like, well, this would be ideal for this song to like it all just kind of came together. Because Andy loves playing drums, so I had him do just like some drum video shit for the music video, and it kind of just came together that way. And I was getting more into making my own music videos at that point just because it's like so expensive to get one done and
Yeah.
so time consuming. And I just wanted to, I mean, I'm always trying to do more with less. So I wanted
Mm.
to see if I could make some banging music videos on my phone. And that's how that one is like the latest that I've tried, that I've attempted.
So after
And the
after
thing
this
about
one, you're like, oh fuck.
well, I just know it's gonna take well because what I want to do next, if I am gonna do one, is gonna require a lot more, and I don't know if it's something I want to do just on my phone again.
Mm.
I might like hire out or do something different just because it's so time consuming to
Yeah.
do. Plus, I don't know if I even want to have like something that I have found with even just the current state of music is like having a full band these days, whether it's for live performance or for music videos, is like purely to serve like a visual purpose.
Mm.
Like you don't need, and it's part of why I do what I do, but like you don't need five other people like actually playing instruments on fucking stage. I
Yeah.
mean, there's bands that really, they don't even have their instruments plugged in now. They just like go up there and pretend to play, and the only person that's actually doing anything is the drummer.
That's hilarious.
which is
But it's true.
which
It's
is
it's
like,
like lip syncing, but for metal.
but for like most of the time, like nowadays, it's like fucking everyone's just playing to a backing track anyway.
That is true.
So music videos, I'm thinking of going more in a direction that's more conceptual and less focused
Mhm.
on like a performance aspect, even though like that is kind of like, since I am not playing live,
Mhm.
like it has like, that's kind of my stage a little bit, where I get to
Mhm.
throw down and have fun and whatever.
Yeah, because
But
especially when you don't play shows, it's hard to put a visual out there for people. Like like if I were to see you play a live show, right? And I've heard some of your other songs too. It's one of those things where you need to have the right visual because it's only you, right? So it's like how do I say it? It's
yeah,
almost
well,
like like you
like
need the
when I have
lights, you
it,
need the stuff, you need the crazy shit.
yeah, well, there's that, and then I mean, when I have played live, it's been just, I just go up and I play guitar. Like I just like play lead guitar over whatever the fuck. Usually, I just like make a playlist of instrumentals
Yeah.
that I have. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm just gonna jam for a real long time.
And people are like, "Wow, he's amazing. He's playing the rhythm
No,
and the lead at the same time.
you made all
He's
this? Like,
mind
yep.
blowing." Yeah, yeah.
I don't have any
They'd
friends.
have no friends. Yeah, that's gonna actually that was gonna lead me to my other question. Like, what is it with the? Because obviously it's not just Alien and you, but you have other projects as well, like Neptune Sky and stuff, which is more like synthwave electronic. But what is the obsession with space?
I don't know, man. I'm just like, Earth is boring.
Did you
Give
just
me
did
something.
you watch too much of the Cosmos?
I have watched I have watched space videos to the point that I can tell when something's clickbait. Like,
Oh,
because
explain that.
it's
Explain that.
gotten to that point, right? Like space, like we only know so much. Like, granted, we're discovering new things every day. Like there's the James Webb Telescope, which is pretty cool. But even like the new videos for that, like they're like, did the James Webb Telescope discover God? And then it just like they, in reality, the video is about like some random gas that they discovered that like nobody cares about. And I've seen so many space videos like that I can tell within like the first like 5 seconds, like, oh shit, they got me again. Because they always post these crazy, like,
Yeah.
shocking
Like, oh,
like
especially
they
like
on the
with
edge
like the
of the universe
colors,
and
right?
shit like that. You're like, oh, sick. And then you like watch it. It's like, oh, okay, so you're gonna like basically half this video is you telling me like what you're gonna tell me about in this video.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that like especially when we see things about space, like it's blown. It makes astronomy look like it's something that's like fun to do. Like I guess it is fun. You're exploring space initially, but like the process of exploring space is really not that fun. Like it's a
Well,
lot of black and white images.
so dep- it's super depressing when you like get to like the reality of space, because like, I mean, it's funny even like when they talk about aliens and like coming in contact with like extraterrestrials and shit, when like in reality like everything in space is moving away from itself so fast that it's likely we'll never even like get to another galaxy.
Yeah,
Like shit is moving way
yeah.
faster than the speed of light
Well,
from
the
us.
Earth is
And
rotating at what, twenty
yeah,
thousand
fucking
miles per hour?
figure out how to go at the speed of light and we'll be good. No, we're
We're
fucking,
done.
it's so depressing. Like in a, or it's like, I mean, it's where, this is where I think that we're most likely in a simulation. And it's a really, like, read this list once of telltale signs that we're in a video game simulation or whatever. But they made a really good point where,
Mm.
so say you're in like an RPG, right?
Yeah,
And there's like mountains off in the distance. But if you, when you move towards those mountains, it gets to a certain point where like the game will be like out of bounds. It'll like start to kill you.
yeah,
Space is kind of the same thing. Like we can see that shit out there, but like the time it would take to get there, like in what space does to the human body when you're out in outer space, like it's basically the same shit.
yeah. That's true.
Like as in like we're like going out of bounds. Like, oh
Like,
shit,
oh,
like you're
this is
you're
not.
too far away from planet Earth.
You need to go. You
Like,
need to go check.
it, like I mean, it's very, very like video game
Yeah.
like. That's where it's like really interesting now with like this new telescope. They can see
Mm.
way the fuck farther than the Hubble telescope. Is like, what are they gonna discover fucking now that we can see like eons into space?
Mm.
But two, like fucking,
Are,
it's holy
are these
stuff.
conversations that you have when you're drunk?
No, because I haven't really been drunk in
Oh,
like,
you haven't
I
been
don't know,
drunk. So
two
wait, so you're
two
a bartender, but you haven't been drunk.
I have been drunk once in the last 2 years because of like all my medical shit and everything. Like only very recently can I start drinking
Yeah,
alcohol again. I have to do it in like small doses.
yeah. Well, that's one thing I wanted to cover.
The conversations I have with myself when I'm high out of my fucking mind.
We all do that.
I mean, when else do you watch shit about space when you're off in space? Like, hello.
That is true. You know, the most fun I've ever had watching space, anything space, cosmos, whatever it is, just YouTube videos about interesting things that are going in the the astral plane or whatever, has been when I'm baked out of my mind.
It's the
I
best
mean,
time to
I don't
binge.
remember any of it, but it's
I mean,
interesting. I don't know if it's like the
like
colors. I don't
video.
know.
Dude, there's a segment of videos on YouTube that's literally like what it would be like if you like plunged into Jupiter, and it's just like this crazy visual shit for like 5 minutes where it tells you like how much this shit would fuck you up like as you're going into the planet. It's the best.
Nice.
I gotta check those out.
Like they're so like entertaining. I don't know why. I like sat and watched like all of them in a row.
That's pretty sweet though. So okay,
I mean, you
so
can really like dive deep into space on YouTube. I'm
yeah, no,
telling you.
yeah, no, YouTube has become like YouTube is like the new university for anybody who wants to learn anything, right? Like people pay money to go to like university to learn things in a not so in a way where it's not as detailed as YouTube.
Well, here's the thing with YouTube and why it's different and it's so simple and you don't really think about it. But the reason why learning is so much easier with like video tutorials and shit is that you can skip around to where you want to go. Like you don't have to sit through the whole goddamn lecture.
Yeah, that is true.
Like you're like, oh, okay, well, I
The
don't really
the
care about.
only thing that I see, the only downside that I see. Let me change the background, guys. Let me change that back. There you go. That's my nice background. So the only thing with YouTube that I find a like it's a little it's disorienting in a way, right? Is like if you watch too much of the same thing from different content creators, because everybody has a different way of explaining it, and it doesn't give you like an order, right? So like if you want to learn, let's say you want to fix a car, right? You could watch a whole bunch of videos about fixing a car, but it doesn't like there is no step. Well, fixing a car is pretty simple, but let's say like music production, right? Like if you wanted to mix guitars, everybody has a different way of doing it, and everybody kind of uses like different things, and it's like what the fuck. Or like when you get into music production and you're trying to watch YouTube videos, it's like what the so, oh well, this guy's kick says to kill it in 80 hertz, this one says no, boost it, this one says, oh, make the bass under the drums, then this one is like, no, make the drums under the bass, and then you have the guitars, oh, they got to be bright this side, then you have to add this much, then no, you take out it's like it's kind of confusing, right? So that's the only thing
Well,
YouTube is kind of like
I've never watched a mixing tutorial on YouTube except on how to do multi outs for my Get Good drums. Other than that,
yeah.
I've never watched a single
Oh dude, I
mixing video.
remember Get Good drums. Oh
I'm like the laziest mixer when it comes to guitar. I just pick like whatever the best possible fucking tone is at the time, whether it's Axe Effects or Neural or whatever the fuck, and just throw that over Get Good drums. Like
I
I do so little.
I went deep into, and no, and that's a great way to do it too, because you want your tones to be off the bat already great. So when you go into the mixing process, it just makes things easier. You're just moving like little incremental things. You're not doing too much, right? Well, like there's
Well,
the
because
other side of mixing where you're fixing everything, and that's annoying because it's just a pain in the fucking ass.
well, it's also because I'm a guitar player and I don't want to deal with anything else. Like I just want to like I have my riff and I want to fucking record it. Like and I don't care like
I want to record it, then chop it.
about. I don't care. Yeah, exactly. Like I just want to lay it down. Like I don't want to start from scratch. Like I'm not interested in like building a new mix every time. Like give me a fucking template. Let's go.
Yeah,
Like
no,
that's
I
how I
understand.
shell out so fast. Like it's the way to do it in production is just have templates and fucking let her rip.
Yeah, that's the one thing. I went deep. When I first started doing music production, I went really deep into the
Like
rabbit hole of
all
like balls deep into like fucking like YouTube mixing, from like Jordan Valerone to like whatever the fuck you could think of, what random guy's name who talked about mastering, and like I went like way too deep. And then I have books on it. I was part of Nail the Mix for like about a year until I forgot which producer it was. I think it was Taylor Larson, and he said He's like, you mix it, and then when it sounds good, you're done. And then I'm like, oh, so wait, there's no right and wrong way to do this. So why the fuck am I watching these goddamn videos? And I kind of just like scrapped everything, and I haven't
The
watched
best
one since.
advice I ever got about music in general is just, or it's more so about mixing, but also I just think about music is just close your eyes, grab a knob, and start turning it until it sounds good.
That's what I do now. Like if I grab like a saturator plug-in or a compressor, I'll get it on a range, and then like I'll adjust the threshold, and I will like have my eyes closed, like trying to flip, like, oh, that sounds good. Then I look up and it's like at 200 attack, it's not doing shit. But whatever, the fuck, it's like it is what it is. But
But in your mind,
in your mind, it's yeah. Or sometimes you'll move it and the plug-in is bypassed, and you're like, oh, that sounds really good, and then you're like, oh fuck, I didn't do anything. It's not on. That's
well,
happened
it's
to me.
just, it's, I mean, I knew this, a good example is I knew this guy in music school that he couldn't figure out like why his mixes didn't sound as good as other people's, like in class.
Yeah.
And it's because he was trying too hard to
Doing
like
so much shit.
stick to all the rules of
Mhm.
mixing instead of like feeling it. Like it was more like just like, okay, this compressor has to be at this level. This has to be at this.
Mhm.
This has to be like, it was all very rigid.
Yeah.
And like that's where like, because I even had an argument once with someone on Instagram who was talking shit about my Popular Future mix, which like there's 3 moments on that record where I could have fixed something that I didn't.
But you're just like, fuck it,
like,
this is good enough.
I'd have to point it out for somebody to notice, but like there's very few mixing errors in that album because I spent a shit ton of time like automating all the vocals and everything. Like I did a lot on that album, and I have a lot of people that have complimented my production on that one. So I was getting into it as a kid.
Yeah.
And he was like getting into like the science of mixing, and that's where I pointed out. I was like, well, sometimes mixing is more of an art than a science. And he like went off on me about like all like the proper like technical levels and all this shit. And I was like, you're a fucking idiot. You're just like that other kid that's fucking just thinks that there's rules.
Yeah.
Like that you have. Like this is art. Like there are no fucking rules.
Yeah. When I heard him say that, that's exactly what came to my mind. I'm like, wait, there are no rules. And like I've heard it a few times, right?
What do you mean science?
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's like, what the fuck?
The only reason that science and music exists is so people could figure out what the fuck the musicians were playing in the first place.
That is a great viewpoint. That is actually true.
Why theory exists. It's so they could figure out what the musicians were doing.
Yeah, because if you look at these new like AI apps that make music for you now, that's technically all they're doing. They're just getting like they listen to a bunch of songs, and then they go like, okay, well, this is the key of this. Is the key. Like if you break down music really in a way, it's almost like an algorithmic mathematical equation the way that you're writing it out. So it's very easy to get that process and turn it into something that's like computerized.
Well, and that's where like I think it was easy to move from writing songs with guitar tab to doing actual production, because when you're writing with tabs, you're working with numbers.
Yeah.
And that's where like that's how a lot of metal people got into production, because that's all you were doing the same fucking thing. I mean, August Burns Red, like, is known for like writing their songs in Tabit, which is an even shittier program than Guitar Pro. Like Tabit's hard to use. Fucking, I hate that shit. How they do that.
I hate tabbing
like,
shit.
My buddy used it for a while, and I was like, how do you do this? Like, Guitar Pro is just so much easier because it had like actual like musical functions with like rhythm and stuff like that, whereas Tabit was less confined to music theory, I guess is a better way to put it. But I mean, that's how I used to see music, and now it's like, I mean, now it's more so about the actual sounds that I'm using than it is about like mapping out anything, because I've done it so many times. Like I've written so many songs and I've used the same chord progression so many times that like that part doesn't even really like compute anymore. It's just like I just do it and it's there. Like it's immediately from my head to the paper. And now it's more about finding like interesting sounds than it is about like the actual music itself.
Yeah. So are you one of those people? Because this is how I write music, right? It's like I'll have like a riff in my head, and I'll just lay it down. It could be something that I'll voice record on my phone or whatever. And then when I sit down to write it, like I'll have like a whole bunch of different riffs in a song. Like if you could break down my songwriting, it's probably like 10, 15 minutes long of just stupid riffs that just come to my mind that I feel would flow into the next thing, right? And then I put that together and then I write the transitions. But I don't sit there and like overthink. If when I sit down and I overthink it, I fuck everything up.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on the song, I guess. I mean, a lot of times, like I always have a starting point, but it usually ends up. It depends on the genre, I guess, because if I'm writing like metal music,
Mm.
I'm gonna write the drum. I'm gonna have like a riff that I'll play, and then I'll write a drum beat that fits that or something similar. Usually, what I'll do is I'll write a drum beat to whatever riff that I am fucking
Mm.
around with, or like that's similar, and then I'll loop that drum beat and just play different shit to that
Mm.
drum beat like over and over and over again, until something sticks out. Or a lot of times, since it's just a popular thing to do in like metal and metalcore, is I'll just start with some like synth lead or a sample or something, and then just like dive right into like a heavy thing or whatever that's easy to write rhythmically that I don't really like. It's more of like just a piece by piece thing
Mm.
where when I'm doing like, especially with rhythmic parts, like because when I play guitar, like just sit down and play guitar to nothing. I mean, I'm so hardwired into the rhythms of metal that I just like do them without really thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like someone asked me once how I do the speed burst, and I didn't even know what to tell them. Or like how I do the rhythm. I was like, I don't even. I just do it at this point. Like I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I just like randomly like
Dude,
burst the shit out of
what
my.
is your go-to riff?
I mean, I don't really necessarily have one. I guess I just like
Thinks really hard.
trying to think of like how, because usually when I just like sit down and play guitar, like it's I never like start with anything in particular. Like a lot of guitar players I know, I would say most guitar players that I know, if not all, um, give or take the few that I know from back in the day that did a lot of writing like me, have like a set of riffs that they play all the time that they're like ready to bust out at any second to like, like sound cool or impress people or whatever. Whereas like I rarely like if I'm just plugging in the guitar, like I'll rarely just like start off with something that I always play. Like I'll just
Yeah.
start playing. I don't really have anything in particular. Like I would say a better way to put it is I don't
Mm.
necessarily have like a go-to riff, as more so as I have like a go-to like key or a go-to chord progression kind of thing,
See,
or like a few
that's
go.
what happens when you know your music theory.
Whereas when like, well, I mean, and that's part of it.
Yeah.
And I because I learned both music theory and guitar tab
Mm.
around the same time and like melded them together. I think in music theory with guitar and numbers at the same time. So like I know that like if I'm playing an A minor, I'm going to be using open 8, 10, 12, 7, 5, 3, 2 like on the guitar, like
Yeah.
as far as like
And you
my
play a 7 string, right?
yeah,
Mm.
it's funny because I end up playing my 7 a lot more than I play my 8 strings. One, because I need to get one set up, but the other one is just it needs new pickups. Like it's a beautiful guitar and it plays very nicely, but the pickups are so fucking garbage that I just like don't I can't even play it. Like I can't. It's hard to record it because it's like I have to really try to get it to sound good, which is like what we're trying to avoid
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
in the long run.
This
Like
is why
that's
you need to invest in that one
like
studio, like the really
why.
good, like at least one good guitar and one good bass for the studio.
Yeah, and that's something that my shit lacks is I need a nice bass, and that's something I've been putting off for a long time. Because I mean, I have my 7 string is $3,000.
Mhm.
Like it's like the nicest
Yeah.
guitar I've ever played to
Mhm.
this day. Like nothing even comes close. Like that guitar is insane. But yeah, I mean I play mostly 7 because it's the most comfortable guitar that I have. I mean I'm perfectly comfortable on an 8 string guitar, but it's more so at this point just about the sound.
Yeah. So okay,
And that's
let's shift a little bit. Let's
good.
shift a little because you're a bartender, right?
I dabble.
You dabble. He dabbles in bartending. So okay, I'm pretty sure you've had some pretty like crazy nights, right? Like there
Oh,
has to be like a few stories So I want to know, what is your best night and what has been like your craziest night where you've like seen people do some shit.
Um, all right. Well, I mean, there's a couple, but my favorite story would be so when I was working at Bar Louie in Uptown, it would get, for lack of better words, pretty ratchet in there sometimes. And
Playing
I'm trying
trap
to remember.
music and shit.
I think it was I want to say it was a Saturday night. It was either a Friday or a Saturday because I usually only worked weekends there. But it was like towards the end of the night, and like I saw there was something like going on over by the bathroom. Like there was a lot of people, and there always were a lot of people like super late at night. That place would get fucking
Yeah.
packed. And it looked like something was going on over by the bathroom. And I swear to God, like suddenly the bar just like fucking exploded. And there's like people getting like pulled down by their hair, like people falling over chairs and shit. Like this
It was a mosh.
like out of nowhere went 0 to 1,000. Like suddenly like tables are getting knocked over and shit. Like it was like you were like watching like a volcano bubble right before it just explodes. Like that's like apparently what I witnessed.
Oh my god.
And apparently what had happened was some ratchet bitch that we had served earlier that like we all knew who they were talking about had stolen $40 out of someone's purse in the bathroom.
Oh my god. It was one of those places that play trap music, huh?
Oh yeah, like I would get home and have like
I knew it.
I would have like tinnitus from the fucking 808 playing all night long, like all at once. Just 808 forever, like to the point that I probably had some hearing loss from that.
Oh
But
man.
so you can imagine, but basically like in this fight is getting to the point where like cops are busting out mace, like and these cops and the security there were huge. Like I'm talking like we had a security guard that was literally 7 feet tall.
Holy
Like
shit.
they were huge people. And when these kind of people are getting involved in a fight and it's not settling anything down, you know it's crazy. And fucking they're macing people, they're dragging people out of the fucking bar. And we found out later that after all of this happened, these same two groups of people went over to the Uptown diner and started shit again outside. And that's when the cops busted out like tasers and were arresting people and all that kind of shit.
Oh my god, that's
all
nuts.
over $40 in the fucking bathroom.
For 40 fucking bro, $40 will get you like 2 drinks. Maybe 3 drinks at a bar.
It was a full-on brawl, and this was not like a dive bar. Like this bar was big. Like we had 38 beers.
Like you would have thought that like somebody was stealing somebody's car or something.
It was intense. Like, and I was at the front of the bar, and the bathrooms are back like at the other side of the bar, and I'm sitting up at the front, and I just like it's basically I wish I just like had some fucking popcorn because I was just sitting there watching this thing unfold, but because I was safe from everything. Like I couldn't even smell the name.
I was like, what the
fucking
like, with the trap music on, with the trap music, kill a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, like fucking like they're like crying from the fucking mace and shit. Like,
oh my god, dude, that's hilarious. Hey, I've never been at a bar like at a crazy thing happen like that at a bar. I've been dying for it to happen. Like I mean, in a sense, like you know, in Miami people are fucking crazy. I don't live in Miami anymore, but dude, people just pull guns out like it's nothing, bro.
Well, people don't realize how fast bar fights escalate. Because I didn't really like I'd seen that one, but I hadn't really seen any other bar fights really like in my time. Like nothing beyond someone getting upset that you were taking their keys or something, but nothing like no brawls or anything like that. But when I was working at the Loop, there would be fights during late night, and it was never just like some little like he socks a guy, punches him back, and it's good. Like fucking
some real shit.
Fucking shit kicked in a matter of seconds where like it goes from like 2 dudes pushing to like people being thrown into fucking tables and like
Jesus Christ.
jumping over.
You guys are violent in Minnesota, man.
Dude, it's like every bar fight I've ever seen has not been like a slow burn. It's like a like 0 to 1,000, like shit's getting knocked over, bottles are
it's like you drink a beer, fucking Exodia, just shit just blows up.
I feel like like a bad action movie, like where everything that you touch explodes. Like that's like what bar fights are in Minnesota for me, apparently.
Oh God, that's funny. I gotta experience one of those one day. You do you imagine? Okay, do
Yeah.
you imagine right when we went to the Kava bar in West Palm? Can you imagine if there would have been like a bar fight at a Kava? Like, can you like how slow that would be,
I mean, I just feel like
bruh?
someone would
Bruh.
like have beef with someone, and the person that they'd have the beef with would be like, "Dude, it's just like whatever, man," and they'd be like, yeah." Now that I think about it, I just kind of want to sit down.
Yeah, right. It's like, bro, you know what? You're a dick, bro, but you're cool, man. You want
I'm
some more Kava? Like, I'll buy you one, bro. You
be
want a
like,
shot?
you're
Bula.
like, fuck you, but I just don't want to get up.
So what's one story? It doesn't have to be related, but what's one story that you like to tell but you don't get a chance to tell
About the bar
about
scene.
anything? It doesn't matter.
Uh Man,
What chick was it?
it's no, we're not going there.
It was
Next
the
episode.
blonde. Now
Man,
you said get back to the blonde.
I'm just trying to think if I have any good stories like that.
Bro, you gotta have a good story.
I mean, it's like such a broad question.
I know that I like it. It confuses people. He's trying to think hard, everyone.
I mean,
What's one story that you like to tell that's like it's like a highlight for you, but you don't get to tell it all the time.
um, I mean, I guess I don't know how much of a well, I guess it's kind of a story, but well, I guess I could talk about it. I guess it's kind of a fun story that I don't actually tell a whole lot, but like as far as like how I got into like the visual side of things when it comes to like version 8 and like video and all that and whatever. It was during Corona when I had nothing else to do, and I was basically being paid by the government to sit around on my ass, like more money than I was making working, like being in the service industry.
That's crazy, bro.
During COVID was legit. Like I probably made stupid amounts of money just doing nothing because of how my salary was set up at the last job I had. Like I got super lucky. So I was just like pumping all of my money into Instagram ads
Yeah.
because
There's nothing to
what
fucking
else is
do.
there
Yeah.
to fucking do? And throughout most of that time, I was first dealing with my hiatal hernia stomach issue. So I was drinking like stupid amounts of like kombucha and like that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
which was making me feel like very at one with the world. Like because I was ripped on my mind too, like just fucking like
Yeah, that's another thing. Like
basically like
people like they don't know this, but like when you were doing all these things with like the video and stuff, like you weren't like in a like your health wasn't like all the way there.
up the entire time
Yeah.
that during fucking COVID. Like I was high out of my fucking mind, like chugging like gallons of kombucha, just like tripping balls the entire time.
Why kombucha
And
though?
fucking because it's good for your stomach. The good bacteria in the kombucha.
Okay, I figured that's what it was. Yeah. I just thought
Shit
you did
like
it
that.
as
It
like,
makes
oh, it's a
you feel good.
spiritual release, like.
Well, it makes you feel good. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of it's like drinking a beer without the hangover. You just like
Yeah.
come back to normal. You get all like kind of buzzed up and you feel good and shit. And that combined with weed is kind of trippy.
Yeah.
So I was just fucking tripping balls out of my mind the entire time I was learning how to do all that shit. And fucking like when I think about it, like every album I've released or like every album that I've released, I was like super fucked up on something while I was making it.
See,
Like
we're polar opposites in that way. Like I can't like do
I've
anything.
never written an album for version 8 sober.
bro. I can't. I've tried.
That's a story. I guess that is a story that I never tell. Is that I've never written an album or a song for version 8 sober.
Sober as in like a high, or like in like obviously you smoke, but like on other things, like I mean like over the counter drugs. I'm not,
Oh,
don't
I
don't.
mean, I wrote a bunch of shit when I was on tramadol. Fucking, I've written shit on acid.
Jesus Christ, you went far, man. You
Long
went
time.
deep.
That was long,
You went
long
deep.
time ago.
He went deep, everyone.
Back in
Hella deep.
the day, it's pretty interesting. Some of
Well,
this.
that explains the trippy. Do you have a black light in that room?
No, I have a. So on Amazon, I found this RGB light
Shout out to Amazon. Yeah.
that. Seriously though, like all the best decisions I ever made were from Amazon. Not even kidding. Um, but it's an RGB light that basically like. I wonder if you can see it better if I killed it.
Oh, there you go.
And it basically like it lights up the back of my studio wall or whatever, and I can change the color to whatever I want. So whenever I get bored, like apparently right now we're in like a
Yeah,
dark,
you need the vibes in the studio.
but fucking I gotta always have my neon lights. Like if I'm not constantly soaked in neon, I'm not happy.
Drenched in neon.
Yeah, like when I get home, like I need to take a dive right into the neon ocean that is my apartment.
Do you always keep it on blue? I always keep mine on blue.
No, I switch between blue, pink, orange. Like it does a pretty badass orange that I'll do like the Blade Runner 2049 thing.
Yeah.
Or plus I have this other light that I'll change the color to, so I have like a dual thing
A
going on.
blend. You can make your own purple.
It's the neon blend. 1999.
Well, now you know, guys. Brett likes to be drenched in. I have bought like
French.
LED lights that I don't even use. Like I have projector lights here that are just sitting that I had behind my guitar at one point until I got like the whole cabinet and shit. I like the whole desk that I stream from is pretty much worth its weight in Amazon. So
It's the best you could find. I found those like LED string lights that you can stick to the back of shit.
yeah,
Like that's what I have on my TV. Like fucking, and it was like $20 on Amazon.
yeah, and
That
it just like the color just changes the vibe of a room. It's like it makes it look. I don't know. It's not even that what makes it look like. It just gives it like a vibe. Like damn, I want to be in here. Like
When I'll change the color based on what I'm writing. So if I'm writing something that feels more like desert like or something, I'll change it to like an orange and like a red or something. Or if I'm doing like mystical dark shit, I'll do like purple or like what I got going on right now. Or if I'm feeling like super 80s, I'll like go straight fucking pink and blue.
I do that too. Like I have a client of mine that he comes in to write thrash. So I'm like, bro, fuck, we're making it red. Everything's fucking red in the room. He's just playing fucking horror thrash.
I've actually never tried writing music in complete red before. Like I've like started to, but I've never like done it in just like a deep red color. So because I'm afraid of what will come out of me.
Bro, just do it. Just do it.
I feel like it's gonna be the most violent, heavy thing that I could possibly because like I've something I noticed when I was first getting into drawing, which is a long time ago. I was like in my early 20s. I was just doodling. Like it was actually after like the first few hallucinogenic experiences I had, I started doodling. And I noticed that my mind's like my state of mind would change based on what color I was using.
Yeah.
So if I was doing something in red, I would start to get mad about stuff.
Oh shit! All right, so it's probably better that you don't.
While I'm doing it, and I would take breaks because I would start to get angrier, and like I'd switch to blue, and I'd suddenly like be like all chill and whatever. So I feel like if I was doing red, like I feel like I should, but it's like red for some reason, like, and it's weird because I never thought I'd have red in my tattoos, but they're getting more red as we speak. But basically,
yeah, I saw your Instagram post of I think it was your story where you were getting something done.
Yeah, I have 2 in progress sleeves right now.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Taking a fucking beating.
Man, I'm considering it, man. I'm considering it, but I'm like, I don't even know what I would. Well, I know what I would get. I'm just
finally just like hit fuck it and decided I should do them now while I can, and like I'm glad I waited
Yeah.
until my 30s to do them, because now like because everyone always talks shit like, well, they're gonna look like shit when you're older. And it's like, ha, well, I got them when I was older, so suck it, bitch.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, I'm just gonna get more wolves tattooed on me.
Yeah, I just fucking I don't know, like I always like have seen like super sick like biomechanical tattoos like ever since I
Mhm.
was in high school,
Oh yeah.
like leaves and shit, and I always wanted one, so I was finally like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. Like I want my
Mm.
arm to be in fucking tattoo magazines.
Be like the
So
Alchemist,
what we're
Full
fucking
Metal
doing
Alchemist.
is gonna be sick. Like I got a fucking neon sign going right here. Like it's gonna be legit. Like it's really coming together. It's costing me
Yeah.
thousands of dollars, but like
Hey,
basically like
hey, look,
I can't
tattoos is the only thing that you could spend money on that will be with you forever.
oh, it's so worth it. Like fucking
It's totally worth it. Like if you have like 2 grand and you're like, I don't know what to do with this, I mean, you can invest it. That's one thing. But like if you want to do something for yourself and like fuck it, get yourself a tattoo, man. It stays there forever.
oh yeah.
It's a great conversation starter. I go to
Oh yeah.
places sometimes and they're like people look at me like, hey, a wolf guy. They're like, all right, I'm fucking wolf guy.
Well, I
It's
work
like,
at a fucking country club now, and it's like fucking. They love talking about that shit. What do your tattoos mean? And I'm thinking about just like typing up like a document that tells the meaning of all my tattoos, so I don't have to go through it. Because it's like the same things now as when someone asks me like, "Well, how many tattoos do you have?" And it's like, well, uh,
enough,
if you
enough.
count the individual pieces of my sleeves, like I don't know, like 50.
Jesus.
Like at a
So,
certain point, like you just
well, one
like
thing I wanted to ask you because the thing on your arm, right?
which
Like
one?
go back to your arm, the the one
This
that you showed me before. Yeah. So what is that one?
So this is like a Blade Runner 2049 biomechanical sleeve.
Oh, there you go. Okay, now I can see the. Oh, all right,
So
cool.
this panel here is actually a real panel from an 808, like the
Oh
beat
shit.
with
Yeah.
like all the knobs and shit. And this is meant to be like kind of like the back or the bottom of the car from Blade Runner 2049, like Ryan Gosling's police car
Oh, that's fucking cool, man.
or whatever. And it's like all like yeah, it's like basically like a big biomechanical thing. So that's the neon sign right there. And there's going to be more like shading. So it looks like it's like illuminating the whole arm. But
Is the
yeah, a bunch
neon sign like
of
your
shit.
there's a neon sign your logo or is that something that you just
No,
use
but
or
funny enough that you say that is on this part of the car there he put like what's supposed to be like kind of like a tag or like if someone
yeah.
like put like a Banksy kind of thing or whatever, like
Hmm.
graffiti or some shit. Like that's my logo for my clothing company.
Oh shit, there you go.
And it also like ties into this whole thing because it's also like a little bit based on like the Matrix too, like fucking
Mhm,
because like in the newest Matrix movie, like the
mhm.
one of the new characters, I can't remember her fucking name, but has a rabbit tattoo. And that's where I got the idea when we were first discussing the concept for the sleeve is like having like little Easter eggs and stuff. Because like on the inside of the arm
Yeah.
here, you can't see it, but there's the outline. There's Mewtwo in here in a vat.
Oh shit, nice.
Yeah, so it's like a
So
bunch
it's
of
like
little
it's conceptual, but it all comes together. It's kind of abstract, but it works.
yeah. There's like little Easter eggs and shit. There's gonna be like other little things in here and stuff like that. So we threw that in there to kind of hint both at the Matrix and my clothing line because it's like neon signs put on T-shirts, basically.
That's fucking cool, man. So well, that transitions over like perfectly to the next question that I have, right? And this is something that I'm sure everybody wants to know because I've been wanting to know this. All right, so we're gonna get deep on this one. When's the last time that you stubbed your toe?
That's a good question. The thing about that was, it's been a while.
It's been a while. Really, I stub mine almost every fucking week.
I honestly like can't remember the last time I stubbed my toe. What I more vividly remember is the last time I dropped a keg on my toe.
What the fuck? Okay, well now you got to tell. That should have been the story that you've been wanting to talk about.
Well, I mean,
but
it's
never
not
got
that
the chance
exciting,
to.
I guess. I mean, it's like not like some like harrowing adventure of like keg wars.
he, went,
Like
he went
basically,
on a hero's journey to the keg.
yeah,
I have
it's
RuneScape playing
not
in my
like much
mind.
of a build up to it. Like I worked in this restaurant that had like the worst keg setup ever.
Yeah.
It was like tucked back into the bar, like in part of it you couldn't even open one of the doors because the ice thing was in the way.
What the
So you had to
fuck?
pull all the kegs out every time you wanted to change one that was like closest to the wall. And in the process of moving all of those kegs in and out, I dropped a full one right on my fucking toe.
How much do
And
those things weigh?
I mean, I don't know, like enough for it to hurt.
Like 30 pounds, 40 pounds? Like,
No, I mean, they're heavy. Like I would say they're more than 50 pounds. I mean, they're heavy. Like you can't carry it on your own. Like
yeah.
you carry it around like it's fucking heavy as shit. Yeah, I mean that was a rough day for sure. I mean, I think that's how I finished the day. Like I wasn't even gonna change. It was one of those things where I wasn't even gonna do it. Like I was just gonna be a dick.
Brett was like,
I was gonna leave it for somebody else, and I was like, you know what? I'll be the nice guy. I'll do the right fucking thing.
Brett
And
was like,
I'll change the kegs
fuck
and
it, I'm done.
brush it fucking toe. Yeah, I've done that twice. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I just like stubbed my toe though, because I wear shoes in my apartment a lot, so I don't run into that problem.
Oh, you do that? I walk barefoot everywhere. That's probably
Yeah,
why I hate
like
it every
I
fucking.
always am wearing shoes like all the time.
That makes sense. I mean, that explains why you haven't done that in a while. But dude, if you weren't to wear
Once
shoes,
you get, I don't know if you've experienced Hokas yet, but once you get a pair of Hokas, like you'll never want to take your shoes off.
what are Hokas? Show them to
They're
me.
like the best fucking
The
shoes
best
ever.
shoe. What are they, like a slip-on shoe? No laces,
No,
nothing.
they're like athletic shoes. Like they're like running shoes or whatever, but they're like fucking the most comfortable shoes I've ever owned. Like I have this pair that it literally like springs me forward when I walk. It's crazy.
What? Oh,
Yes.
I gotta check that shit out.
Hoka.
Yo, shout out to Hokas.
Seriously, they're the
Like
best.
they're more
I was
comfortable than
with
feet.
and I went into a shoe store to look at this other brand called On. They have
Mhm.
these ones that are like basically the concept is like on cloud 5 or on cloud 9 or whatever. But I was looking at a pair of those, and
Mhm.
the shoe salesman straight up said to me, he's like, no matter where you look in this store, you're not going to find something better than what you already are wearing right now.
Damn, hey, that's
And
a good
from then on,
salesman.
I have been hard on balls deep in the Hokas.
That's a good salesman, man. Because he could have been like, "Oh yeah, here, just get
Because
these. They're fucking better," you know.
I ended up buying another pair later. They are legit.
Okay.
So I don't really stub my toe a lot because I'm wearing super shoes. Bitch.
I'm looking at my questions over here because like when I write, I scribble like chicken scribble. So I can't even read my own damn handwriting. It's pretty bad.
Well,
I'm
I
surprised I
started
haven't been
taking
fired.
orders when I was working as a server in my head instead of writing them down because my handwriting was so bad that I was getting orders wrong more often than when I just memorized the order.
So, oh damn, that's a good tip. Well, see,
It's
if
that.
if I go to work and I try to memorize everything, I'd be fucked.
Oh, people wouldn't believe that I could do it, and that's how you get the real fucking skrill. Because it fucking be like, oh, you're never gonna remember my order. It's
You're not gonna
crazy.
remember the 5
Yeah,
drinks
later,
with the
I'll be like,
perfect
"Man,
blend that I've made. What is your favorite drink to serve? Now that you got into that,
water on the rocks because
water on the rocks. Oh, that's simple.
make you stupid."
Water on the rocks.
Yeah, it's my favorite drink.
It's like you have water on the rocks, and you're like, oh yes, right here,
Yeah,
sir.
love that. I don't know. I mean, I like making martinis. I like making Manhattans. It depends on the person. Like, I mean, that's a question that I've never heard a bartender really give a straight answer
Mhm.
that wasn't a joke.
Yeah,
Because a lot of times we'll just make it up. We'll just lie and make it up, like, oh, Cosmo or whatever, like blah blah blah. Because like,
yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't like my favorite drink to make. Like, if I had to like, when it comes to the physical act of making the drink, would be like a vodka soda because I just take the fucking gun and the bottle and do them both at the same time and done.
It looks fancy, but it's really
It
not.
looks cool. Like anything that I can like anything that's fast and simple that I can make look cool is what I would say I like
There you
to
go,
make.
Brett, the honest bartender.
Like it
Hire him
doesn't
for your
have
next party
to
gig.
be like.
Get some vodka.
Well, I always laugh when like I mean, I understand it, but at the same time, like it's funny to me when people will sit down at the bar and they'll ask you a question about something, like a certain
Mhm.
type of alcohol or a certain brand or something, in an attempt to like win you over that they're a cool person because they know about this type of drink or alcohol or whatever, or it's like I don't give a fucking shit. What you know about alcohol or what you drink, like you can order fucking car cop from me and I'm gonna make it for you and I don't give a fuck. Like
Right? That's what I like. I go to the
like
bar and I just
some
get like
girl will sit
Jameson.
down that's obviously 22 and be like, "So what kind of Yamazaki do you guys have?" And I'm like, "I don't even know what the fuck that is."
I was like, oh, we don't carry that.
Like
Then you
I
look smarter.
never heard of that in my life. Like, what
Yeah,
the
like I'm very simple. Like when I go to the bars, I'm just like, yo, let me get a whiskey of whatever it is, like a
like
Jameson or like a Black Label. I don't give a fuck, and I just sip on that for 3 hours, and I'm hammered because I'm a lightweight.
it's even funnier at music venues where all we have is like like very typical shit, and you'll get someone that comes up that's like, "So what aged dark rums do you have?" And it's like, dude, this is a
Like, bro,
fucking
it's a metal
concert.
show. Like, just there's Bud Light.
Like we have Bacardi and fucking Myers. Like, what the fuck do you want? Yeah, no, hold on. I got some Zapaka in the back.
But yeah, I figured it would depend more
Oh,
like on the
sorry.
person asking you. Huh? What?
Well, I told the guy to fuck off. And he's like, "Oh, sorry, Jack Sour." I was like, "Yeah, that's what I thought, motherfucker."
The fuck?
Yeah.
It makes sense because it really comes down to like the service, right? Not only like you being a bartender, but like how people ask you for things, right? So
Oh
like
yeah. I
I,
mean,
I
well,
could
they
I
don't
could
ask
imagine
for
that.
drinks. They like think you know everything about everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I've literally have someone be like, "Brett, what's the meaning of life?" And I was like, "Google it, bitch."
At the bar.
Oh yeah, they'll ask
Oh
you all.
yeah, when they're drunk, they
People
ask
have
you
asked
stupid shit.
me people have asked me advice on what kind of car they should buy. I
Mhm.
fucking all kinds of shit you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, because you're like it's almost like a little bit of therapy. It's like you
Oh
when you're a
yeah.
bartender, you're like you obviously you're serving the alcohol, but you're also kind of a therapist.
Oh, I mean,
Especially like one
like
of those slow
if
nights
it
where you only
comes
have
up
like
the
two or three
bar,
people at the bar.
I think of it less as therapy and more as being like a social crutch for people because like there's like the whole like I don't know. I mean, there's the therapist thing to it where
Yeah.
like, every once in a while someone like I've rarely had like the classic scenario of someone like just lost their job and they come in and have a drink and talk to the bartender about it. Like I've never
Or like
really
this guy just got divorced.
yeah, I don't have that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I'll have like the person that sits down and it starts as a normal conversation, they tell you their whole life story of horror. And you're just it's like all
Like,
like
wow,
whole life like laid to waste in front of you and you're just like
what the fuck do I do with this?
vodka soda?
Yeah, vodka soda, bro.
So
But
let me
I
tell
can
you about
imagine
all
you
the times
get
that
to meet.
I'm
Okay, go tell me.
like, what the fuck is it about my face that gets people just talking about this kind of shit?
So like, okay, so I imagine that you meet like a lot of different people at a bar, right? Or some of the same people, but you get like a bunch of different characters walking in, right, on a
Yeah,
weekly
well, yeah,
basis.
it's
So
it's a
I'm going
lot.
to do a little skit with you, right? So let's say, hold on, let me grab my thing over here. We're gonna do a little bit of role playing. No homo. I'm this hot chick at the bar, right? And I'm eyeing you up and down, and I'm like I'm on my I don't know. Give me what's a bitch drink? What's something that women drink? It comes straight how much I date.
A watermelon lemon drop.
Yeah, I have a watermelon lemon drop. Where's my?
Dick.
Sure, I'll grab my candle, and I'm just there sipping on my watermelon, and like you're eyeing me, right? So, what is your best catchphrase?
Hold on.
I look like a
Where
witch right now.
is
The power of
like
Satan.
you just have that like ready to go
It's
for
my
that
candle.
question?
It's my can. It's been lit here the whole time. I just didn't have a shot glass. I didn't know what to. Well, I got my coffee mug.
Okay, so we've really set the mood here. What's my go-to line?
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
eyeing you, Brett. I'm looking at you up and down and shit. I'm kind of cute.
so my latest This one's pretty good. This one's been working out for me pretty well. So on a scale from 1 to America, how free are you this week? Works every fucking time. Otherwise, this one, it depends on the bar. Like, it really depends on the bar. Like, if I was working at the Loop, if I was bartending at the Loop where they're all these fucking sluts, I would have been like,
okay, so the sluts are different. The sluts are on their phone.
so
They're like they're eyeing you, but they're like this.
But I would say, so how would you like to come over and watch porn on my flat screen mirror?
You actually say that?
I've said that before and it works.
Bro, you're a G, man.
You just
You're
have
a
to
fucking G.
You just say whatever the fuck. What's
like, yo, Pornhub and chill?
Like, it's been really weird for me. Like, okay, so here's another interesting. This is an interesting story. I haven't really had.
This deserves this. Hold on.
Oh my God!
It does actually.
You're a baller, bro.
All right, let's just hope that I didn't forget what I was just about to talk about.
Pornhub
right.
and chill.
So at my last job when I was a manager, I had to be very, very reserved sexually. Like, I couldn't like I worked with all 22-year-old girls basically. Like, the bar staff was different because I didn't really interact with them much because they were always so busy. Like, it wasn't as much interaction there. Yeah. But with the servers all the time, they'd text me all the time, all that kind of stuff, and there was nothing I could do about it. Like, my bosses were watching me like a fucking hawk. So I had to be like perfectly reserved, couldn't do anything sexual at all. And now that I'm out of that job and back in like a normal position, like, I
don't give a fuck.
Cut loose again and like say shit to girls, and it's like almost like me. I swear to God, I feel like I'm almost like a virgin again.
It's like to the point where like you say and you're like, I think I just got fired.
I'll text something be like, oh, you fucking idiot! Like, why are you saying shit like this? And
oh my God!
And they're eating it up, and I'm like, man, like, so this is how it feels to be like sexually open again, where I don't have to like hold back at all, and I can just say shit to people.
That's hilarious, man. See, I've hit the other side of the spectrum. I just like, I don't want to date anymore. I'm just like, fuck it. Like, I'm over it, you know. But I don't know. I guess we're all on a different path, right?
Well,
but that's funny as shit. You just fucking yo. You imagine you look at some chick. Imagine like the normal guy like watches her like, hey baby, you wanna go watch some X videos and chill?
Please tell me that you've never actually said that.
I've never actually said that. No. But I'm just summing up what you said.
Lately that I've been using, like, that I'll just throw in, like when you know it's time to like make the move or whatever. Like, we'll be in conversation and there'll be something I can't necessarily give an example, but my response will be, well, so do you want to make out about it? And
I like that one.
I like
that one. I've used that.
I mean, because you can also be like, so do you want to have sex about it?
Yeah, you might as well, right?
Like, I mean, and like normally the answer is yes.
Yeah, but with women you have to be more like subtle. You know, you can't just be like, hey, you want to take it in the ass about it? Like, no, you have to like, you know.
No, but you can, just because you add the about it at the end.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yes.
Okay. So you can just rip that out.
Brett is officially top of G. What color is your Bugatti, Brett?
Pressed. I gotta, get my Casanova back.
He's slowly getting his Casanova back.
I mean, I'm getting all sleeved up and shit. Like,
the chick walks into the room and there's already you play one remote on a fucking stream deck and just Pornhub just shows like fucking...
I'm in the prime of my prime. Like, I gotta fucking take advantage. You know, grow the beard just a little bit more.
Oh my God. Oh shit.
My country.
That was a great see, I didn't expect that. That was good. That was good. Thank you for role playing with me. That was fun.
True story. Yeah, I can tell you're a little wet over there. Probably
oh God, no! I'm actually sweating because I'm wearing this fucking leather jacket in Florida.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
It's cold in the house, but just that's what they all say. After you throw out them the fucking Pornhub and chill. What was her reaction when she said that?
I mean,
she just like, what the fuck?
I mean, how do you expect that would go?
Have you gone further than that?
Yeah,
you said crazier shit than that.
I mean, it depends on the situation. It depends on like it. The more that I get to know, like, because the thing with like bartending in general and the social aspect of it is you have to like gauge people. Like
Mm.
there's always people that you can tell right away that you can bullshit with. There's other people that you have to be like more reserved with, whatever.
Mm.
But I find that like, and that's why I like working in golf clubs, and that's why I'm working in one now, is like you get to know everybody, and that's when I can really just let my like fucking rock star idiot side out and just say stupid ass fucking shit and like just be a rock star and like do dumbass shit because fucking everyone knows you.
So
Oh,
you
that's
wor- so the country club that you work at.
I'm at a place called Lafayette Country Club in Wayzata. It's very, very ritzy. It looks like a country club. It's very much like the bar itself is like its own little separate entity, which is pretty cool. And it's 21 plus, so they
Yeah.
can't like bring their kids in there and shit.
Mm.
But it's ritzy as fuck. I would say I could go as far as to say it's a little stuffy, but not in the sense that like the members themselves are, just like the building itself, because it's very old. It's from like 1882 or some shit. Like it's like an old
Yeah.
building, and it has that stuffy like Southern plantation feel to it. Even
Mhm.
though like the actual like membership isn't like that necessarily, but it's like rich people fucking land. Like it's on the lake, like it's on Lake Minnetonka. It's fucking like the person that owns General Mills like has a house on the fucking lake. Like it's insane.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to ask you because obviously you're at a country club, like you see a lot of people that have like money, right? So like, have you made any connections yet, or are you like,
It's
or
something
is it
that
like, do people generally walk in there like, because musicians tend to be broke, but like, do you, but do you meet have you met like any like producers or anything, or like anything, any
so
kind of artist or something that you may
I
know?
mean, apparently the drummer of the Beach Boys used to be a member at this club, but isn't anymore.
Makes sense.
Not really any artists per se. I mean, you're more likely to meet someone that's in the business than someone that's an
Mhm.
artist in a place like that. But I've met. I
Yeah.
mean, it's very much like. I mean, the other thing to consider is that it is also it's a golf club, and I'm dealing with like golf members a lot of the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, business owners and shit like that. Yeah.
And a lot of them are like, for lack of better terminology, bros. Like they're sports
Mhm.
dudes, they're business dudes. Like they went to U of M for whatever, like fucking that kind of thing. Or like made their money in some random business or sales or some shit. But it's not as like you're more likely to like meet people that like want to invest in some sort of art or something than you are to meet
Mhm.
anyone that's actually in the business, is a better way to put it.
Yeah, that's yeah,
Like
like
you're more
any.
likely to meet some like I'd be
Mhm.
more likely to meet an artist through one of these people just because of their connections than like
Yeah.
there ever being anyone at a golf club like that.
Yeah, you're more likely to meet like some kind of like record label owner or something like
Well, and
that
these are
than
like
a
boat
than
people too, so they're
yeah.
fucking
Oh,
like they're
uh-huh.
loaded. Like they're in a different realm, a lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, you already know, artists love their yachts.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I mean, I stand out in a place like that. Like I've even been told by management that I'm like a higher caliber service industry worker, which I am. Like I have an extensive resume, like bartending and shit like that. I'm very good at what I
Mhm.
do. But people like me, like tattooed and shit, like artsy and whatever, do very well in places like that because that's what they want, like in a bar. Like they want
Mhm.
that edgy, like kind of rock star personality, which I definitely like bring that to the table. Like it's like why I do what I do,
Mhm.
like bartending,
Well,
like rock.
I won't be hiring anytime soon to work at my bar. So you're good on that one, Brett. But I'll keep you in mind. Or if you have any references, please throw them over my way.
Well, we need to open. I need to open the Kava bar up here.
A kava bar would be sick.
Well, they're
There's a whole bunch of them
legalizing
popping over here in.
marijuana now in Minnesota.
Oh, there you go.
They just
Oh,
passed
over here
it.
in Florida, the kava bars have been popping all over the place.
Yeah, that was definitely legit. Like, I mean, it was cool. It's cool to like have a place to like hang out where people are like all about like weed and shit like that. But when you see a bunch of
Yeah,
hot girls walk in, they're like, "Oh, okay, so this is like actually like
yeah,
a bar."
yeah. It's true because most of the kava places that I've gone to, like I said, like I don't I don't date. I don't really give a shit anymore. But most of the coffee places that I've met, it's true. Like you see always the guys like playing games on their laptops, and then it's all like it's just always like a group of guys that just know each other socially somehow. You know, it's never like a group of like you're never gonna see like a group of like hot chicks. I mean, I've seen
you
them, but it's like
act
one or
like
two.
the burnout LAN party.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Like we're playing bingo, bro. Like what the fuck? Like we're at a coffee bar playing fucking. You imagine bingo at a fucking bar, dude? Do you imagine the fights that would break out?
You
Fucking
wouldn't
just playing
believe
trap.
how many people ask in
A1.
nightclubs.
What?
You wouldn't believe how many people ask me for board games in nightclubs.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Like full fucking
or like cards or whatever, and I'm like, you're in a fucking like balls to the wall, nothing but standing room bar, and you want to play cards.
They're just yelling at you. You're looking
Hear
at
your
you're
own
behind the
voice.
fucking thing.
Like,
You're
what
like,
the fuck are you gonna do?
bartender, do you have parcheesi?
Like, for real though, I kid you not. Like, I have been asked that.
That's nuts, bro.
Yeah.
So all right, Brett. Well, I want to thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for giving us a bit of your. I'm gonna be thinking about that tonight. Pornhub and chill.
Oh yeah.
So a few ending questions for you. What is something that you would tell the people that listen to your music, the people that go on your Spotify, that are subscribers to YouTube, they buy your merch? What is one thing that you want to tell these people? Don't tell them that they're assholes. They're kind of nice. Like they're
I wasn't, but now that you mention it, no.
Either way.
I would say, I guess I would just say, be patient with what I'm getting around to doing. I kind of fell off the guitar video thing, honestly, because it's just not that rewarding at the end of the day. Like it doesn't do a whole lot for me, but yeah, I would just say like I will release more songs eventually.
Eventually.
I'm getting there. I'm recovering from a lot of health horror shit, so
yeah, that stuff like it'll really slow you down.
Don't give up on me yet. I'm just getting back.
Don't give up on version 8.
Yeah, I gotta get more tattooed first, and then we
or Neptune Sky,
can be friends.
Or Shaded Waters.
Yeah.
How Shaded Waters is that what you're working on now?
No,
Shaded Waters.
That's just a song.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a whole.
No,
like
that was just a song. I have something else called Echo River that's gonna be like pop country when I finally decide I want to record that. Which like
what?
I'll have days.
I'll
be like, yeah, that might be. I should record something for that, and I never quite get motivated enough to do that one.
You're gonna see Brett outside with a weed hat and with a straw hat and a fucking Telecaster.
It is part of my master plan to dabble in country a little bit, just because I would stick out.
That is true.
Even though, like right now, I basically look like a tattooed clone of Jordan Davis, but whatever.
At least you look like something.
Yeah, it works.
All right, and before we close out, this is one thing that I've asked. Well, you're the second one on this podcast, but it's something that is a recurring question that I'm going to, and you kind of answered a little bit of it earlier, but I'm gonna restructure the question, right? So, actually, before I get to that, let's go backwards a little bit. Is there anybody that you would like to shout out, or anybody that you would like to see come on this podcast?
I mean, I already mentioned I don't have any friends, so just open that.
Shout out to Logic Pro X.
Open that.
Shout out to Amazon.
Right for the jugular on that one.
Shout out to Cornhub.
I mean, I could shout out my friend Andy, who does something similar to what I do, but he is more into the drumming side of things. His project is called Kasteja, Kasteja. He's got some pretty cool stuff if you want to check it out. Other than that, everyone else can fuck off.
Wow. Straight to the point, Brett. Very hurtful. You hurt my feelings.
I don't know. I guess I just don't have that many artist friends anymore. I mean, social media is kind of isolated.
Listen, when you're a good-looking guy with tattoos and you tell their girlfriends that they want to come over and Cornhub and chill, Yeah, man.
I did it to myself. Ah, damn.
You did it to yourself, Brett. You
Did it
did it to yourself. But you know what? Well, I'm happily over here in Florida. Whatever you want to fly in, we'll go to the Hard Rock and fuck some shit up.
Sounds good to me.
So now, okay, let's get into the final question. This is the one. This is the one question that I ask all the artists, besides those other two, because I kind of do. But what is your idea or your philosophy on a fulfilled life? Not happy life. That you said to Google that. No, we can't Google that. A fulfilled life.
I mean, it's an interesting question because we're programmed to never have enough. But
Well, that's consumerism for you.
but even just like, I mean, it's an interesting question because I was watching the new season of Rick and Morty,
Oh, I love Rick and Morty, bro.
and like the dinosaurs come back, and they like
I remember.
they
Yeah.
like fix everything, right? And they make it so like no one has to work or do anything at all and whatever, and everyone goes crazy. Everyone loses their fucking minds because like they literally like there's nothing for them to do except nothing. And it goes to show that like as a species that our desire for some sort of conflict or whatever that drives us forward. I mean, it's hard. I think it's more a matter of like what type of life or what you're like, how, like what type of life you want to live. Because I think an interesting way to put it is like, do you want to live a life that's happy, or do you want to live a life that has meaning? And because those can be two very different things, because someone who is happy with whatever they have at whatever given time. I mean, that's a choice. Whereas like to have a life of meaning, like if you're searching for meaning in your life, you're never gonna be fucking happy.
Well, you mean like do you if you put the word content in the place of happiness, is that kind of how you see it?
Yeah, I guess I feel like to have.
Because you need to be content in order to feel some kind of happiness. Like to me, happiness and fulfillment aren't they're not tied
Okay, I
together.
think the best way for me to answer this now that I think about it is that when I die, I want to feel like I'm all used up. Like I want to feel like I'm like totally worn out, like fucking like I used my body and my life like to the max, because that's what I do. I mean, I take things beyond the limits of what people think is possible and shit like that. So fucking I want to know like at the end of my life that I fucking like used it. I mean, that's
You want to make sure you got your investments worth.
I want to say that I used it. Like I've always thought it was super lame. Like someone buys a super nice guitar and never plays it. Like I want to like my $3,000 guitar. Like when I'm done with that thing, it's gonna be beat to shit because I used it. Like, and that's how I like want my life to go. Like even if I die when I'm 40 because I beat the shit on my fucking body, like at least I fucking used it to the max.
That's an interesting philosophy. I've never heard somebody say that, but I've never heard somebody put like their body in the position of like kind of like I understand what you're saying, but almost like how an object is,
Basically,
but not. I get what you're
that's
saying, but
say
not.
that my
Yeah,
soul used the shit out of the vessel.
that's a better way. There you go. That's okay. That's yeah. Use the shit out of the vessel.
Like
Yeah.
when
So if you got the body, if you got the age, if you can go out and push things a little bit more to the extreme, and you do stand out more that way.
when I finally got to 270,000 fucking miles on the odometer and got rid of the vehicle, like that's where I want to be at. That's fulfilled
It was
to me.
all the
Like,
way, no oil change,
pushed
nothing
this
can save this
thing
man.
until
The transmission's about to blow. Get him, girls, go suck him
well,
dry.
there's like this fucking in the Animatrix. There's this bit where like this guy basically like awakens himself from the Matrix by pushing his physical limits to the extreme, and like that's like kind of like what I aim for.
That's
is to
understandable,
like
bro.
go like to that like level of extreme. Not that I'm like jumping off buildings and shit, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Well, you know, in every occasion that you live your life, you want to take advantage as most opportunities as you possibly can.
Oh yeah,
So
like
it's kind of like saying like live your life with no regrets. If you have an idea, if I want to go fucking like for your example, jumping off a building, like I want to go skydiving. If I have the opportunity to do it, I will do it. So when I get to my older age, I'm not gonna be like, damn, I never tried skydiving. That kind of sucks, you know?
yeah, you gotta fucking like I don't know. You're always gonna wonder what would happen if you had done that thing that you decided not to do at the last second.
Yeah,
So just fucking do it.
just fucking do it. Go do it, people.
Yeah,
You heard it directly here from Brett Larson, from Mr. Brett Larson, from well, you are version 8, so I can't say from version 8.
I guess.
He is
Well,
version
people
8. Like
think
he
it's
is.
a band, so we'll just go with it.
That's true because I went through the comments and it was funny how one of the comments was like, "Yo, this band fucking is awesome.
Seriously,
I hope
though,
they blow up."
it's been a thing for a long time.
Yeah, I've heard it.
People still
Yeah,
don't
I've
believe
I've read it. That's sick. But with that being said, so Brett, the way that I close this out, I didn't tell you in the beginning, is that I play the outro and then we just move over to the side, let it play, and then I go offline. And if you want to stick by and you can chat after, that's totally cool, right?
Yep.
If not, you could just go away and smoke your stuff. But with that being said, guys, thank you for joining me and Mr. Brett Larson on today's episode of Migs Plays. Stay for this Friday. I have a synthwave artist who goes by the name of Atlas Neon. We actually did a song together called Miami Vampire. And we're going to be talking about that this Friday on Migs Plays. So stay tuned for that. And with that being said, take care, everybody. Have an awesome night, and I will catch you guys on Friday. Goodbye, Mr. Brett.
Adios, motherfuckers.